Hi, this is Eric from NoisyBatt.com, also on Instagram.com/NoisyBatt. Today I want to look over the new Arturia Keystep. It does so much for around $120 MSRP, and that's a pretty significant price point because MIDI keyboards, a lot of low-end MIDI keyboards are about $100, and those MIDI keyboards actually only connect via USB and are meant to be used with DAWs. Now this, on the other hand, is $120, and it does connect to the computer via USB, but you can use it without needing a computer. It connects to old and new music devices through MIDI or CV, so you get a lot of features for so little. So again, this is the Arturia Keystep. It feels really good. I avoided Arturia equipment for a long time. Not sure why. Just the white surface just didn't look very good to me, and it should be based on looks, but I'm a gear junkie, so everything matters to me. My first piece from Arturia was a Beatstep, and then I got the Beatstep Pro. Then I eventually got the what is it? Mini Brute and the Micro Brute. Now the build quality on the Beatsteps are really impressed me because they felt really solid. They had a lot of good weight to it, and they didn't. This is the same. It has good weight to it. It's small, but it has good weight to it. The UI is pretty simple, and it does a lot. So let me go through these buttons really quick with you. Here we have a toggle switch for a sequencer or to get into ARP. This knob here, you see 1 through 8. So this allows you to store your sequences in 8 memory slots. Now if you're in ARP mode, you'll have 8 ARP styles. Here we have time division, 1/4, 1/8, 16, 32, 1/4 triplet, 1/8 triplet, 16th triplet, and 32 triplet. And here we have rate, allows you to control your tempo. Here we have tap tempo, we have rest and tie. So when you're composing when you're putting your sequence together, you could add a rest to the sequence, or you could tie the notes together. Record, stop, play, pause, and below that is append, clear last, restart. These features apply to the sequence mode. Now this shift button is really important because it just adds so many features to this device. This looks so simple, but when you read the manual, this shift button just opens up a bunch of features for you. I mean, that's typical of many devices, but you'll be using that a lot. If you're really going to perform with this piece, you're going to be using the shift button a lot. Hold or chord mode. Hold and chord mode. Hold is it's like to, you press play and then you put it in the ARP mode, and then you press some keys, and then the ARP will hold, so you don't have to keep your fingers on it. You have transpose, keyboard play. I'll get into those things later in the video. Octave up, octave down, pitch and mod. They don't use physical wheels. They have touch strips, which is really cool. What's nice about these keys, they have not really heavy, so they're still quick, and they have a waterfall style appearance. Much better than a lot of other keyboards, mini keyboards. Now this is something that makes this keyboard really special. All these interfaces. Okay, so here's the USB port. The Keystep comes with a USB wire, and that's it. It does not come with a 9-volt AC or the 9-volt DC adapter. Here we have the CV outputs, mod, gate, and pitch, sustain pedal, sync in and out, and then we have a true 5-pin MIDI plugs in and out here. Now these dip switches change the clock. So right now they're down to internal clock, or it can get its clock via USB, or it can get its clock from another MIDI device from these ports. Okay, so right now I have the Keystep powered via USB. It's connected to my Alesis Bluetooth portable PA, which has a USB plug, so it's bus powered. Okay, I have MIDI out. This, for all the noobs out there, this is a MIDI cable, okay, for all the noobs that I'm addressing. So this is MIDI out going into the Korg vocal bass, MIDI in. Okay. I have the audio out going to my mixer, and let's turn this guy on. Okay, so we got the bass, the vocal bass going. This is a mono synth, so I'll demonstrate polyphonic stuff later. But I love arps and sequencers on a mono synth, like a vocal bass or a bass station. Okay, so let's mess around with sequencing. Oh no, let's do arps first. Arp on the up setting, we have 16th, and I'm gonna go slow on the tempo. Now, here's the thing on the tempo: you do not see LCD screen, LED screen. That there's no digital display on the tempo. Okay, so that's somewhat of a bummer. I'm sure maybe in the future they could add that in. So let's see. Okay, so we have it arp style, time division. So I'm gonna do that, and okay, there you go. That's arp. That's arp with the upsetting. I'll go through the arp modes and time division. Down. Random. Order. I'm wondering about order because I'm not sure how it makes it so different from sequencer. Supposedly order is based on the order you press the buttons in. Here's up ×2. Down ×2. Now let me show you a feature that I find really interesting. You can go to a different setting without having to activate the settings in between. So if I hit shift and then go to up, shift, go to random, let me change the time division. While we're here, let me mention these settings here. Up here, we can see that you can change the MIDI channel. So the vocal bass is on MIDI channel 1 right now. Go to 3, it's dead. Go back to 1. Now, so for some of you live performers, I'm assuming that would be of interest because getting access to the MIDI channels would, by just pressing this, you could shift to different equipment pretty fast. You know, imagine you have another module somewhere else. You could, once you change your MIDI channel, you could activate the other gear. Okay. Here we have gate, global gate time, and we have swing. Again, hit shift, 90% gate, 10%, very blippy, back to 50. Get some swing. So, as you can see, accessing these features is pretty immediate. No menu diving. And that trick they added with shifting to different time divisions or ARP modes is pretty cool because you could be changing the beat, you know, in the middle of your performance, or changing the melody, or just changing the mood of your song. Okay, so let's go to sequencing. So to go to sequence mode, you hit sequence up here. Again, now this knob now represents memory slots. So if you're going to do something, be careful not to overwrite a previous sequence. You're going to have to remember that. And what's cool is, just like what we did in the ARP, you can shift to different memory slots by hitting shift and another memory slot, and you're not going to activate the other sequences. So this is still the same, everything's still the same, but now these features kick in: append, clear last, restart. I'm not so sure how useful those things are. It helps with exploration in developing your melody. From a live point of view, I'm sure the more experienced musicians will do something with that, but I kind of thought it was a little awkward, but let me demonstrate that for you. So okay, so we want to record a sequence. 1, 2, 3, 4, rest. So we have a sequence going. It's in memory slot 1. Okay. So let me go to memory slot 5 and do something else. So we got that going. And I want to go to the first one again. So I think the live performers are going to love that feature. Imagine you have your first song is occupying 1, 2, and 3 because you have variations in bass or leads, and then you want to move over to your next song. You can like skip over your variations and do that. All right. Okay, let's see. Transpose. We'll change the lowest key in the sequence. I'll just change the picture. This doesn't do anything because I'm assuming that the MIDI info doesn't affect the chord. But anyway, so let's do transpose. So now the sequence is based on the note I press. Now there's something called append. It allows me to add a note to the sequence. So I'm going to do shift append. I want to delete that, clear last. It's gone now. Let's do it again. Added 2, I'm going to delete it. Clear last. Clear again. It's gone. Okay, here's another feature. Here's another feature where you can change the note in the sequence. So if you hit a note at the same time as what's playing, it'll replace that note. This new sequence, record. Let's just do. So I replaced all the notes from the C major I just did. Okay, so I'm gonna go into the other features that people are asking about. It's already been stated in other official Arturia videos, but I'll show you how it can work. So you can have the Keystep play a pattern, and then you can go into keyboard mode and then give it a dedicated MIDI channel to play another synth. So for example, we have the sequencer running sending MIDI channel 1 to the vocal bass, but now I'm going to put a microKORG in the chain. So we'll shift to keyboard play and give keyboard play a different MIDI channel to run the microKORG. Now the microKORG has a MIDI through. Okay, so to take advantage of that feature, you're going to need a synth with a MIDI through, or you're going to need a oh boy, I'm all tangled. Or you're going to need a MIDI through box. So the Keystep will go in here, and then it'll have MIDI through going to the KORG vocal bass. Okay, it won't be in the camera because I don't have a lot of space. Okay, so I currently have MIDI out going into the microKORG, MIDI in, and then MIDI through going to the vocal bass. So I'm going to demonstrate how the sequencer will run something off the KORG, the vocal bass, and then keyboard play will activate the microKORG. So let's make a bass line. So keyboard play is basically you have to play. Okay, so shift keyboard channel 2, and the microKORG should kick in. Okay, I'm not going to embarrass myself any further, but I'm just demonstrating how this can act like a two-part MIDI device. Sequencer on its own MIDI channel and keyboard play on its own MIDI channel. Another feature people want to see is if it does polyphonic sequencing. So let's give that a try. The vocal bass is a monosynth. The microKORG is currently set to a patch that's polyphonic. So I'm going to change to microKORG by going to channel 10 or channel 2. Let's do that. We'll go sequence. Let's record. Let's do 1. There you you go. So polyphonic sequencing is available on the Arturia Keystep. What else? What else? What else? What else? Oh, chord mode. So we have the vocal keys here. It's also, I put it in poly mode. Okay, so to get the chords going, so you hit Shift chord, and I'll do C minor, everything. C minor. So it's blinking, so you know that it's in chord mode. Okay. So that's really cool. I wonder if it works in sequencer mode. Chord. Seems to be working. Let's turn off chord mode. So it looks like chord mode works in sequencer. That's cool. And I turned off chord mode, and the information about the chord still exists in the memory slot, which is good. If you notice what happened there, when I switched from one pattern to another, it didn't go to the next pattern until the first pattern was done. So that's also very cool. I believe that setting can be changed in the software. I'm not going to be covering the software in this video, but when I looked through the manual, just like the software for the Beatstep Pro, Arturia lets you do a lot of different things to the Keystep via software. And one of them is change how this acts when you change modes or memory slots. So yeah, that was cool. To bring features of other synths, like for synths that don't have the sequencer and memory slots and ARPs, this puts those features into those synths, and I love that, So I mean, Arturia did an amazing thing by giving us these features at $120, and I actually got for less because I used a coupon from Guitar Center. So I hope this video helped. This is my first vid so thanks for watching. If you liked it, hit like. If you want to subscribe, please do so, and I will make more vids. And hopefully the sound quality on this mic was not so bad. I'll find out later. I have a lot of other gear to share with you, old and new. Check me out on Instagram.com/NoisyBatt.